Thanks for joining book club, y'all. We kind of got a late start, but it's
okay.
cool. It's cool.
We did.
Let me sip my water.
We're regulars.
Yeah.
Oh, that water here is so good. All right. So, I didn't do discussion questions for the first two chapters because it was only 10 pages. So I figured like we can either do a group read and we can kind of skim through this together, or we can talk about what stood out to us. But like chapter one was 2 pages, so if y'all want to group read it, either I can read it or we can like each read a
Y'all want?
paragraph, popcorn style or some shit.
I, I was about to say.
Popcorn style. Oh, I feel like an English teacher.
I don't know who.
I can start off and then popcorn it to know if you want to read the second paragraph, and then Quan, you can read.
Or do you want to do pages?
Or yeah, should we do pages instead? Yeah, let's just do that.
Okay.
All right. First page, chapter 1: Awareness of self. Sitting on a planet spinning through vast outer space for a handful of years, in the broadest sense, this is the human predicament. Earth has been here for 4.5 billion years, yet each of us is limited to roughly an 80-year ride on the planet, give or take a few years. We were born onto the planet and we will leave it when we die. This is simply the truth. What is not such a hard and fast truth, however, is what our few years on Earth are like. Undoubtedly, life on the planet can be a very exciting experience. I can't. There's no way. There's no way. Is it still recording too? Is
Probably.
this still recording?
What happened?
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear y'all.
But can you see us?
Yeah, I can still see y'all.
Oh, okay. Well, we just gonna keep going. Alright.
Say something if
He
you
was
stop
like-
hearing us.
Yeah, be like, okay, y'all good, because it says we lost network connection, so we just gonna keep pushing through.
Okay, yeah. I can hear y'all good, loud and clear.
I'm just trying to give my laptop some good energy so you can get it together. Alright.
Oh, that worked.
Did he hang up?
I thought your good energy worked.
Okay,
I was just about to say, now I can't hear y'all.
I think we're back. Okay. Woo!
Hold on. Let me see something. Talk?
Hey,
I can't hear y'all talk.
you can't hear?
Nope. I can see y'all, I can't hear y'all.
You can't hear us.
Google is
No, I
gonna
can't hear y'all.
hear one from me. Oh, well, he can't hear us. Okay, it's fine. It's fine.
If
Everything's
this doesn't work, we can just do it on my phone. It's this East River Wi-Fi.
Okay, I can hear y'all now.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're Gucci. Alright, I'm gonna try to read a little bit faster. It can bring enthusiasm, passion, and inspiration at every turn. When it unfolds that way, every day can be a beautiful adventure. Unfortunately, life on Earth rarely unfolds exactly as we want it to. And if we resist, our experience can be quite unpleasant. Resistance creates tension and anxiety, and it makes life a burden. To avoid this burden and to be able to fully embrace life, wise ones throughout the ages have taught the importance of accepting reality. Only by accepting reality can we work with the flow of life as it passes by and creates a better world. All of science is based on studying reality, learning her laws, and then working with those laws to improve our lives. Scientists can't deny reality. They must fully accept reality as the starting point of their endeavors. To fly, we must fully embrace the law of gravity, not deny its existence. The same is true in the spiritual realm. Teachings such as surrender, acceptance, and non-resistance form the basis of a deeply spiritual life. But these concepts can be difficult to grasp. In Living Untethered, we are embarking on a journey into the sheer reasonableness of acceptance and the great gifts it promises. freedom, peace, and inner enlightenment. Acceptance is best understood as non resistance to reality. Try as you may, no one can make an event that has already happened not have happened. Your only choice is to accept the event or resist it. During our journey together, we will explore how and why you make this decision. But first, you have to understand who is within that has the power to decide. I popcorn to you.
You are certainly in there. You have an intuitive sense of existence inside. What is that? Is it awareness of self? It is awareness of self, the most important topic we could ever discuss. Since we're going to take a deep dive into the spirituality of acceptance, we must start by understanding who is in there, accepting or resisting. There are many ways to approach the nature of self. Let's go slowly and start with something very simple. Imagine someone comes up to you and asks, "Hi, are you in there?" How would you respond? No one would actually say, "No, I'm not in here." That would be the ultimate non-sequitur. If you're not in there, who responded? You're definitely in there, but what does that mean? To isolate what you in there means, imagine that you're shown 3 different photographs. The photos are held up one after the other, and you're asked, though the photos changed, was it the same you who saw all 3 of them? Your response would be, of course it was the same me. Very good. That helps us get our bearings. From this simple exercise, it's clear that you and there are not what you look at. You are the one who's looking. The pictures change. You who saw them stay the same. It's not hard to understand with photographs that you are not what you look at, but there are some objects we identify with more than others. For example, our bodies. We identify with our bodies enough to say, I'm a 43-year-old woman who is 5'6". Is that really who you are in there? A 43-year-old 5'6" female body? Or is the body something you in there are aware of? To sort this out, let's start with your hand. If you were asked whether you can see your hand, you would say, yes, I see my hand. Okay, but what if it got cut off? Don't worry about the pain. Just imagine for a moment that it's gone. Would you still be there? Would you notice your hand is gone? It's like the changing photographs. When the hand was there, you saw it. When it was gone, you saw it was gone. You in there who sees did not change. What you were looking at changed. Your body is just another thing you see. The question remains, who is in there doing the seeing? Popcorn cheese. Clown.
But have to stop. Help of a heart, lung, other devices, surgeons, fill up your body. And body.
I think it's breaking up a little bit. Just 1 second. Let me see.
I think it's
Okay.
because he breaks up when I'm at home.
Oh, it might. Well, let me just see really quick.
I do my Wi-Fi.
It could be, but it's probably mine. This is why book club in person could be a vibe, and we wouldn't.
Yeah.
We could probably do every other meeting in person to start.
Yeah. Play it. Record it. Yep. Want me to keep going? Can y'all hear me better now?
We can hear you great. Yeah.
Okay. Where was I?
Can you start from note that we didn't, like from that same?
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. With the with a heart lung machine. But great.
Somebody don't want this message to get up.
You still breaking?
Still breaking.
It was working.
It was working until you like the moment you started reading. You start. Is it?
I'm on. Hold on. I don't know. I'm turning off my Wi-Fi and I'm just on data right now.
We can hear you right now.
Right, like you sound fine right now. Try to start over.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. We're just catch up.
I'm getting closer. Okay, so note that we didn't have to stop with the hand. Surgery has become so advanced that with the help of a heart-lung machine and other medical devices, surgeons could remove a great deal of your body, and the same sense of self would remain in there. Awareness of the changes. How could you be your body if it changed that much and you in there stayed the same? We still good?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Fortunately, to help you realize you are not your body, we don't really need to go that far. There is a much simpler, intuitive way to approach this. Surely you've noticed that your body didn't look the same for 3, 10, 20, or 50 years old. It certainly wouldn't look the same. It certainly won't look the same if you're 80 or 90.
But
Okay.
Because it's like, uh, well, oh, but isn't isn't it the same you in there looking at it? When you were 10 years old and you looked in the mirror, did you see what you see now? No, but was it looking then and now? You've been in there the whole time, haven't you? That's the core, the essence of everything we're discussing. Who are you? Who is in there looking out of those eyes and seeing what you're seeing? You're no, just like when you were shown the three photographs, were not of the photos, you were the one looking at them. Likewise, when you look out at the mirror, you are not what you see. You are the one who sees it. Little by little, through the use of these examples, we are revealing the nature of self. Your relationship to what you see is always one of subject object. You are the subject. What you are looking at is the object. There are many different objects coming in through those senses, but there's only one subject experience.
Oh, wait.
it's not a poem, but
Great job, everybody. So I do have a question actually that I thought
Yes.
of while we were reading. So like, and I guess this is more of like a. I'll just ask you. So background. I've had like that experience of like seeing yourself like outside of like seeing yourself in your body.
Right.
Like being like seeing your body basically.
Right.
Why is that a scary phenomenon? Like when that does occur for us, why is that scary for us to see? Because it's like this is saying like we are what's inside. We're not this. So
like
why is
seeing yourself separate from
From-
yourself, like your body.
yeah.
I've had like that's the moments when you stare in the mirror just a little bit too long and you start to get a little too aware.
Yes. And you're
those
like
are those like I'm a real person. Like I'm inside. Like I'm making this body move. Like
Does it
this
feel
is
scary
me.
to you?
Yes, especially
Okay.
at night.
Yeah.
When I be in the bathroom thinking too hard.
Really? I mean, to me, it's like when I was reading this book, it kind of made sense, but it's like it's amazing. I think about it, basically, like, this is basically an earthly vehicle.
It's
Like
unbelievable.
we're in a, we're, it really way more people say you need to take care of your body because it's almost like your car, like you have to make sure, right?
Right.
Even
I mean,
like when you
that-
go pick out a car, I feel like we picked out who we're gonna be. Like I feel like we
Yeah.
picked out what we're gonna look like, how we're gonna talk. Like we picked those things out, and then we came to Earth and was like, bloop, manifest into what you want to be.
That's
Like
true.
it's crazy.
And you can even change your physical appearance. Like
Literally,
working out.
Right.
Like you can change your whole body composition. It seemed like.
you can go to the surgeon.
Right. Like
Like-
any way you want to do it.
Like it's like the body shop.
So like that can't be you because you're still the
That-
same person on the inside,
Mhm.
regardless of what's on the outside. So like this physical, that makes sense now.
Yeah.
That makes more sense now.
Yeah. Like,
Why
body-
is it scary though? Like that's the part that's like, cause whenever I've been on like psychedelics, and I get that fear of like, oh shit, like
I think you're just shocking yourself, but like, I think
How
that's you
aware
kind of
you
waking
are.
up a little bit, like your third eye
You're
opening
like,
a little bit.
whoa.
You're like, this is a whole new like perspective on life.
yeah, because like you're realizing that this physical stuff around you is not really what
Right.
it was
What you was
like.
thinking it was. Yeah.
Right. That, I don't know why. I was on psychedelics when I read the first chapter, and it took first, I was
You said
oh
it took you 20 minutes?
yeah, I,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I don't know why it's scary. I think it just shocks people. I think it's like oh
I
Yeah, I
think
think
it's
it's
just a shock
shocking.
factor. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
It definitely is shocking. Um, just, I think knowing that we're not our bodies is so powerful because, like, even like when you think about stuff like, okay, let's say you get a tattoo that you don't like, or it ages badly. Like, just the fact of knowing, like, okay, but this body is temporary. Like, just like that tattoo. Like when they say, oh, tattoos are permanent. No, they're not.
No.
This body ain't even permanent.
Right.
Like, if you choose to get cremated, you're literally going to be ashes. So that tattoo, like, all the decisions that you made with your body are going to disintegrate to ashes. Either way, whether it's instant or whether it takes 30 years.
Right.
Like, knowing that, I feel like it almost opens up this part of my brain that's like, okay, I could be limitless. Like, I can literally do anything with my body. And even if it's like I push it too far and like, okay, I don't know. It's just like it's disassociating, but also like still having that appreciation for your vehicle and be like, okay, let me take care of this.
I think that's
Right.
a good word. But instead of, because you don't disassociate, you're actually connecting more. So like whatever the opposite of that is, because when you look in the mirror and you're having that awareness, like I'm inside this body. Like I'm not the body, but I'm inside it. Because like the book
Right.
said, we're looking at it, but we're still like, just like we look at a car, but we're not a car.
You're not a car.
It took me a minute to get that, but then I was like, you're right. This is just something
Yeah,
we
that-
see in a reflection.
yeah. So I like. It makes me feel. I don't know. It's a little bit more of a sense of. It feel a little better because I don't know exactly. Because ain't no telling how much vehicles we done had
I was
up to this
thinking
point,
that too, yeah.
and in a whole bunch of other like human bodies. You probably got some more lined up even after this one, you know. So
Yeah.
it's like wow. So really, we can be whatever we want to be in this life, but also we can be whatever we want to be in the next life, and we probably was something else cool in the before life, and it's.
I wish we could remember stuff
And
like
you know
that.
what's crazy? Is like
I wish.
some people like are in this life as one thing, but they see themselves completely different. Like they look in the mirror and they don't see even what their body is.
Right.
They see whatever is warping their mind. So it's just like we're literally just consciousness.
Literally, yeah.
Like there's no telling. Somebody could be walking around and it's like you see them as a person. They might see a damn dinosaur when they look in the mirror. Like
It's all about, yeah.
we don't know. Especially if there's like mental
Yeah.
health ties into that. Like when I see certain people in the street and like everyone's like, oh, their life must be so hard. We don't know.
Some people
They
choose to
could
be
be
homeless.
they could be dancing in a field of rainbows and fairies flying around. Like in their mind, it
They're
could look
okay.
way different.
Yeah, they're okay.
So
I be living life supposed to be life,
Yeah.
and getting caught in the rat race.
Are we froze?
Now y'all good. I can see y'all.
that is not.
But we're not frozen?
Nah. Last time I could see y'all, and then like once y'all start talking again, then it just cut off immediately. So I don't know.
How many fingers
But-
I'm holding?
Y'all, when you said y'all wish like we could remember things into our next life, that is literally a part of the journey of like reaching enlightenment.
Yeah,
Like
that's
to
true.
fully reach
That's true,
enlightenment, you get to that point where
According-
like, even when you don't ever actually die, you just
Is
your
that
energy just
Buddhism?
continues.
Yeah, I remember that now because I took religious studies class and it said that exact same thing. Like you reincarnate until you reach enlightenment.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
And I feel like
Are we
this
close? I feel
lifetime,
like I feel
yeah.
like we're getting closer.
I feel like I'm like right there. Like if not this lifetime, my next
Maybe
one.
the next one, yeah.
Because I'm feeling very like okay, I'm catching on to shit.
It's crazy because, like, I don't know if y'all ever looked at stories about like kids who say that they've been somebody in their past life, but I like looking at that stuff. So there was this one girl I saw, and then she's like, Mom, I had another. She's like, I had another mommy before I had you, and I had another brother, and I had another dad. And then she explained how they look and everything like that. So it's like, dang, it's kind of cool when you think about it. But that really makes you think, like, okay, we probably really do just.
There's a show on Netflix. I forget. It's probably called like Reincarnation or something simple. But they literally have that. It's like all these different stories of people and like what they went through when they came into Earth. Like there was this one little boy, and he had all these facts from World War II. Like he knew the plane and the fight and like like certain battles that aren't like even big World War II battles. It was like very specific regions. So his parents started researching it, and it was real like information. And so he had a name. Like he said this name. Oh, like I'm so and so. They looked the name up, and it turned out to be this pilot who had passed away in a plane accident in World War II. And it was just like, okay, how does this little toddler know about this man who died in a plane accident? So they had actually took him to the site of where the plane crashed into the ocean. Like they took a boat out there, and the little boy was literally having like an emotional reaction to being like
that
where,
close.
yeah. Like that was probably triggering his soul because his soul was like, oh shit, I've been here before.
Right.
Like
this is where it ended.
Yeah.
Which makes it like make sense because a lot of people deal with trauma, and we deal with a lot of trauma that we sometimes haven't even really gone through, like in this life. But our souls may be carrying certain traumas in from a past life.
That's exactly what it is. It's like I feel like his toddler version was coming back to Earth to resolve the trauma from that accident, like from that flight. Or just to like be able to come back to Earth and be like, okay, so that wasn't the end all be all. Like it happened, but I'm back, and now I'm this little kid
and now I don't have to go through a war, and I can have a real life.
Yeah, and like just be interested in planes. Without the battle.
Right.
It kind of reminds you of Souls, the movie Souls, the Disney movie.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. That is a cute movie. Did I cry on that movie? Because the dude died, right?
He did.
But did they send him back? No.
He tried to get...
I think his soul had hopped out, right?
Right.
Yeah. A little girl, I don't know if it's a girl, but the other little soul.
Yeah.
22.
Body.
22.
Right, that's right.
Do
okay.
Something for me.
Wow.
22. Do your thing, 22. Do your thing, 22.
I remember that.
Somebody need to make an edit with that song and the
that
22
movie?
little character.
The little character.
How that ended.
I feel like I always fall asleep at this one particular point, and every time I have fell asleep during Soul, it feel like they snatching my soul. Like I wake up and I'm like,
I know the part you talking
about. Am I like? Because they're playing frequencies that whole movie
and everything like that.
Yes.
Yeah, that part was crazy. It was trippy.
Like literally healing frequencies. And I woke up. I was like,
I've only watched it once.
This movie is transporting me somewhere right now.
What?
It was a very abstract idea for Disney.
Yeah.
It kind of touched on some
Disney
things.
has a lot of Easter eggs that, be in their movies and their shows, but it's like, oh, like even Finding Nemo, I feel like there was a lot of spiritual lessons in that movie, even if it wasn't said. Like I feel like just the fact that Neiman's dad, Martin or whatever, he had to literally go through the spiritual experience of understanding that Nemo is his own person and that he can't control Nemo. Like, and having to like have that whole surrender and acceptance ideology of like, maybe I lost him forever.
Right.
And it wasn't until he was like defeated and was like, okay, I've lost him for good. Then Nemo came back. So it's literally like
That's
a
that
spiritual lesson
resistance.
of like,
That's that resistance that's in the next chapter.
stop fighting the resistance, like allow things to happen, and then it's like
It'll work out.
It'll work out if you accept it.
Yeah.
If he kept trying to find Nemo all the ocean, you know, and
first of all,
he would never.
You're looking in the ocean, sir.
You should have never found.
You should have never started looking because it's the ocean.
Yeah. He would have never found him if he kept going.
Never. Yeah.
He
Right.
had to surrender and accept. Should we start chapter 2?
Yeah. Sure.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Basically 3 and a quarter. So, I guess I'll start it off.
Whoever reads this page can just read this paragraph.
Okay. The conscious receiver. Once you recognize that you're in there, you're going to notice that objects around you tend to distract your consciousness. A neighborhood dog barks. Someone walks in the room. You smell the aroma of coffee, and your awareness is drawn to these objects. On a daily basis, you are so distracted by external objects that you barely remain centered on you, the conscious receiver of these objects. Let's take a moment to examine the real relationship between this conscious receiver and the objects it is distracted by. To look at this scientifically, you are not even looking at the outer objects. Right now, you are not actually looking at what you see. What's happening is that rays of light are bouncing off the molecules that make up your outer objects. These reflected rays are hitting your eyes, photoreceptors, and being transmitted back as messages through your nervous system. These messages are then rendered in your mind as an image of the external objects. You are actually seeing the objects inside, not outside. We are slowly peeling back the onion to see what it's like to be you. Things are certainly not what they appear to be. Even science backs that up. It's like you're sitting inside looking at a mental flat screen monitor that is imaging the world in front of you.
I just understood what that was trying to say.
Yeah.
Like, we're not seeing things outside. Like, everything we see is just images in our mind.
Yeah.
That shit's crazy.
You are obviously not the object you are looking at. After all, you're not even looking at the actual object. If you work your way back, the question becomes, who am I in here, looking at a mental image of what is in front of me? There was a great saint from India, an enlightened master named Ramani Maharshi. His entire spiritual path was to every moment persistently ask, who sees when I see? Who hears when I hear? Who feels when I feel? I feel like that, just that section right there, literally is like so insane because we were just talking about that with like even people that live on the street. They're seeing whatever they want to see. Like our mental image is just an image.
Exactly. And your mind can make up some very
like when they
crazy
said
things.
you're seeing the objects inside, not outside.
That kind of like, that's crazy.
Like, have y'all seen The Matrix?
I
movie?
haven't, and
Oh my gosh.
I should watch it because people reference it all the time.
There's a scene in The Matrix where once he basically breaks free from the Matrix, the illusion drops.
Mm-hmm.
So like he doesn't see a refrigerator anymore. It's just numbers and codes. So like everything was just like codes.
I'm gonna
like,
watch that. I might watch that today when I go home. Let me see if it sounds
I was watching a podcast, and there's like two black guys, and they was talking about this black scientist, and he said he studied like reality, right? The way he figured out with reality, he said it's kind of almost. He's like, I think he called them death codes or something. He said like reality is made out of codes similar to that of like a simulated computer, and it was a black scientist who figured this out. But he says it's very similar to like a simulated computer, so it's, you know.
That's literally what they were doing in the Matrix. They were on those laptops. Like whenever they would enter themselves back into the Matrix, there'd be someone on the outside watching them, but they weren't really watching them. They were watching the numbers coding across the computer screen. But in their mind, because they had broken free from the Matrix, they were able to see those number codes and be like, oh, that's so-and-so walking down the street.
Right.
Oh my god, I'm gonna watch that again today. I
mean, probably what reality but we see it in this way. It probably is not like numbers, but you know what I mean. It's probably
Yeah.
signed
I think
by
that's my mom's
just
place HBO.
yeah.
Um, I'll finish that like little section at the top of that second page.
Okay.
Unless, okay.
Well, I don't mind. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you can.
Okay. Self-realization, the term for enlightenment, the yoga master P used, means you have fully realized who you are in there. The entire spiritual journey back to the seat of self is not about finding yourself. It's about realizing you are the self. Even in a Judeo-Christian sense, if somebody asks whether you have a soul, the correct answer is no, you don't have a soul. You and there, the consciousness, are the soul. Thus, who are you becomes a quintessential question. You can't free yourself until you understand who it is that's bound. Likewise, you can't understand acceptance until you understand who is resisting. Let's continue our exploration of self. Earlier we discussed that when you were young, you looked through your eyes and saw a certain reflection in the mirror. Later in your life, you saw a very different reflection. From that point of view, how old are you? Now, how old is your body? How old are you in there who's looking out through those eyes at your body? Even if you were in there when you were 10, if you were in there when you were 20, if you're going to be in there on your deathbed noticing that you're dying, then what age are you in there? Don't answer that question, just let it touch you at a very deep level. Are you willing to let go of traditional concepts about your age? Let's do another interesting experiment. Imagine you're looking in the mirror right after taking a shower. I do that. Do you see the reflection of a male or female body? What if suddenly, via some mysterious power, it changes? Somehow the body parts change. If you were a male, you're now looking at a female. If you were a female, you're now looking at a male. Would it still be the same you in there looking at that body? Would it still be the same consciousness that has always looked out through those eyes, now seeing a very different body? You will probably be saying, what happened? What's going on here? Nevertheless, it would be the same you having the entire experience. So what gender are you in there? You in there who has no body parts can't have a gender. All you can have is awareness that when you look out through your eyes, the body you're looking at has a certain form and shape. Sorry. That form and shape might be male or female, but you who notices are neither.
That page alone hits on some shit. Because I just want to bring up the fact of like the age. Also, Taekwon, are you still here? Because you're frozen.
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Just want to make sure. So, the whole like age thing, you know how they say that people mentally are the age of like when their deepest trauma occurred, that like it stunts them unless they choose to grow from it. I feel like that explains so much why there's like grown adults who act like kids, because it's like they might look in the mirror and still see that little kid because they haven't done the soul work to evolve. Versus like when we looked in the mirror when we were 10, we look completely different from how we see ourselves now because we've been doing the work to grow and learn. Like us inside is not really aging or changing, but our mental image of ourselves is changing because of the experiences that we're having. You know, like when people like have sex for the first time and now their whole body image of themselves is changed. Because now they've opened up an experience that their mind is like, whoa, like now I see myself like this. Versus someone who never had sex, they might be like completely in this innocent kind of.
It's like going up a step that you can't go back down. Like once you elevate,
you're
there.
Back.
Like that's the stage
Right.
you're at, and either you stay or you elevate again.
Right.
That's true. And I also feel like it takes work.
Yeah.
Like
or
you have to put your own.
Just never move.
Right.
You just choose to stay in that same little box. Wow.
Yep. On work to it too. And so at some point you gotta like deal with, you know what I mean? Like you have to put in work to kind of grow self, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who they've been doing what they've been doing. You know, they got 40, 30 years, 40, 30-year-old
doing the same
men.
thing.
You know, like, but they never try to, they're still doing the same things, the same type of routine.
Yeah. Yeah,
But,
that's something. Oof.
yeah,
It's like they're not identifying with the soul inside. Or they could be, and the soul inside, like who they are, really only desires to be that. Like that might be their purpose, to just only like to
Do
be
that
here and
thing.
do that one thing. Because you never know,
True.
like maybe in their past life, what if they were like this super wild criminal, like always on the run?
Right.
Now they're
True.
like in this life, living their karma from that, and just being like, okay, I'm a little banker, you know, just
Yeah.
going to work every day.
No
and I do this.
excitement here.
Yeah, and
True.
they might be content. It's so like much that goes into it. It's just like, oh,
I wonder if I wonder if I
I
was a
don't know.
criminal in my past life.
I feel
If I
like
was a
I
criminal,
definitely had at
I,
least one past
I
life.
hope I was a thug thug.
I was yes,
I,
because I have that.
uh,
I feel it in me. I'm like, ooh, if somebody try me, oh, you don't want to
I,
fucking know.
I,
No, because I'm
a
gonna pull
West.
some shit from 200 years ago, and you know
That
that's
right. Yeah. I could see that. 200 years ago.
Mm.
Y'all ready?
Life is
Oh,
crazy.
also that last part, I don't know if y'all were kind of feeling what he was putting down, but like us not having a gender, like us being genderless, low key wipes out sexuality. Like that just hit me when you were reading it because I don't know, like hearing it sometimes hits you different than like you reading the words on
Yeah.
page. And I was like, damn. So if I woke up and I had a, you know, I had a
Yeah.
spit, and it's like I'm still me.
Yeah. You would still be you. That's what I think.
I now not be like would I be attracted to something different? You know, like it's just
You, since you would be in a male body,
But it'd
the
still be
chemical,
you.
exactly. So like
but you,
I'd still be attracted to guys,
Yeah.
but then it's also like because I'm now a guy, am I going to want to do the same thing? Because maybe my desire, like once I get that thing, maybe my desire now would be like, okay, I don't want to get it in the ass. I want to go use this shit.
I
But,
think that's more of a physical body thing than a self, like on the inside.
but that's
thing.
my point. Yourself,
Oh yeah, he was separating the physical body from the self, like on the inside.
but they're really not separated because if you think about it this way, if your inside you changes, like so you're feeling what's happening, like your
That's
hand gets
true.
cut off, you're feeling
Okay.
the pain,
Yeah, that's
you get a
true.
dick. Now you're feeling that sexual desire of a man, of a, but it's really just of somebody with a penis.
That's true. But
So
only your attraction would change. It wouldn't change who you are on the inside. You would just be you may just be attracted to something else. But your attraction
Exactly.
doesn't define who you are on the
Exactly.
inside.
That's
So
why
that
that's
your
why I'm
attraction
saying-
could change, yeah.
but that's what I'm saying. Sexuality is not really like what we
part.
make it a
That's-
thing.
Oh, I see.
Like
what
your
you're saying,
sexuality could change if
Sexuality
you
could
had
change.
different circumstances.
yeah. So sexuality is not a part of self.
Yeah, it's just something that we're like conditioned to be like, oh, your body's like this, so you should like this. Your
Yeah.
body's like this, so you should. But sexuality really would change based on
What
what you have.
because I know like if you're in a male body, it would give you more testosterone. How you say that word?
Testosterone.
So testosterone. So it may be a little different on how you would still be you, but because of the body and the testosterone
Your
and certain things,
desires
the male,
will change.
it may make you act a little differently.
That's true. That's true.
That's why, like, I understand now why people be like, I guess like the whole like argument or debate or whatever you want to call it, discussion around non-binary folks is that being non-binary and being just yourself, you, it's like, okay, I'm not putting a label on who I like based on how my body currently looks.
Or
Because
myself.
what
Put a
if-
label on yourself?
What
as
if
well.
you were a man in the past life? Like, so your sexuality isn't self, basically.
Right.
Because if you were a man in the past life attracted to women, you're still you still have your soul experience, but now you're in this life as a woman.
If there is no sexuality, like if there was no such thing as sex, there would be no such thing as gender. I feel like sexuality drives
Right.
that whole discussion because
It
we
does.
wouldn't care who's a male or a female or a boy or a girl if no
We wouldn't
sex
care
was
who's
involved.
with who.
Like it doesn't. It literally wouldn't matter because what's the difference if you're not engaging in that type of behavior?
I feel like it's
Right.
so ingrained into the human race but it's like there's all these people that are trying to like break down those walls.
Right.
But I'm like, that's a lot of walls to break down. I'm not saying it can't happen, but to like get everybody on the same accord to be like, oh, sexuality doesn't exist, gender doesn't exist. Everybody would have to be tripping on some
Gender
acid.
gender is definitely something that we made up as a human race. Now, male and female, I guess the biological aspect, the science aspect,
That's real.
that's solid, but like we've
But not
conditioned
your
ourselves,
soul
right?
is not
We've
that.
conditioned ourselves to act according to boy and girl gender,
Instead of acting
just
as we
acting,
are.
right?
Yeah. Oh,
That takes a lot of work though to break out of that
it does.
because it's all you see every day.
It
Right.
does. That's why people would rather like hide their sexuality than to be their sexuality because it's
Yeah.
like actually being it would take energy.
Takes energy to do hell anything.
I think our call's gonna end in, let's see, it's just as soon. They don't give us a time. 8 minutes. So where are? Did we finish this page?
We
Okay.
Page. Taekwon
All right,
has to read
bet.
the last page in that last paragraph.
Taekwon, you want to read this last page?
So,
If you turn
so
your,
the question.
sorry,
Also, yeah,
turn your camera off and turn it back on and see if you unfreeze. Because you've been sitting in the same
Okay.
position for like 10
Well, that
minutes.
and sound is breaking up a little
Let's
bit.
see. Y'all see me now?
Okay, we can see
Bet.
it now.
Cool,
Read
cool.
slow. Read a little slower. Just in case it breaks
All
up.
right. The question remains: who are you? The aware intuitively your intuitively knows. Excuse me. The awareness that intuitively knows you're in there. Your body has an age and your body has a gender, but those concepts are irrelevant to the one who notices the body. If you look at a tall 100-year-old vase, does that make you tall and 100 years old? The same is true of race. Your skin may be a certain color, but the consciousness that notices this has no color at all. You are not your body. You are the one who notices the characteristics of your body. You are the conscious awareness that is looking at all of this. The question is, are you willing to let go of who you thought you were? Because who you thought you were is not who you are. The same
That would hit some people
is
a little too hard.
yeah, the same looking at your body, your house, your car. You are the subject. All the rest are objects of consciousness. Go to sleep, and you often dream. You wake up in the morning, and you say, "I had a dream." The statement is actually very deep. How do you know you had a dream? Do you merely remember the dream, or were you actually in there experiencing it? The answer is very simple. You were in the experience. You were in there experiencing it. The same who looked through the eyes and see the outer world was experiencing the events occurring in your dream. There's only one consciousness. There's only one conscious being in there, and you are either experiencing the world, the waking world, or the dream world. Note that when describing your interactions with both worlds, you intuitively use the word I, as in I was flying through the clouds and with my arms wide open. Then I suddenly woke up and realized I was in the bed. In the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali,
Holly.
how which which is very ancient yogic text, um, Pantahaji discussed the topic of deep dreamless sleep. He says that when you go to sleep and there are no dreams, it's not that you are not conscious, it's that you are conscious of nothing. If you contemplate, you're going to find that you're always conscious in there. Even people who get knocked unconscious, or into a coma often come back and tell us what they were experiencing. People have near death experiences in which they leave their bodies and come back to tell about it. Whatever the source of these experiences, the same you in there experienced them and were able to describe what you experienced. How can you call that not being conscious? Medically, when we call conscious, or what we call conscious, has to do with awareness of our external surroundings. However, the concept of whether you in there are consciously aware of anything, that's another story altogether. You're always conscious. You've been conscious from the beginning. You're aware of whatever you focus on externally and internally. You are who are you? Who is the consciously aware entity inside?
Consciously
So,
aware.
Good job, good job. All right. So I know we only have 3 minutes. So just I feel like summarizing the first two chapters, how we feel. Like we feel like
I feel like it's a
enlightened.
good start. Yeah, it's a good start.
yes.
Definitely, I feel like this book is a book that would trigger a lot of people who aren't ready to like hear certain things or face certain things, especially when it comes to
Yep.
identity.
Yeah.
Like this book, I feel like is the key of like having an ego death. Like it's just you reading this shit and you be like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm not who I thought I was. I'm not, attached to this reality. Like this isn't my apartment. This is just
Right.
space,
A bunch of stuff.
space and time.
Right.
Yeah, that I'm imagining to look like this.
Molecules and atoms.
Yeah, together.
Right.
So,
You're not even your body. Just
Right.
in your body.
yeah.
Like I'm
that's-
inside this thing, looking back at it when I see it in the mirror.
Right. This body really just gets me from point A to point B, and I'm just here to take care of it.
I like when you said Earth,
Earth
vehicle.
vehicle.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna post that
Earth-
on Zenfriend's Instagram today. Like a quote, something about Earth vehicle.
Yeah.
To
Earth
summarize,
vehicle.
I feel like
That's
that's
okay.
our summary of today's meeting.
This is
How
just the Earth vehicle.
Can we enjoy the presence of our Earth vehicle, like in
Yes.
every waking moment? Because that's really what we're here to do. Like we were given this to enjoy this space and time.
Yeah.
'Cause who knows where we were before?
Right.
Exactly.
So enjoy the day. Enjoy your Earth vehicle.
Right.
See if you could do something different today with your vehicle. I'm gonna definitely.
Let me think.
I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I
Right.
want to do something like just even if it's something little, just being like, okay, like I'm utilizing my Earth vehicle. Like I'm doing something different. One different thing a day for a whole year could change your whole life.
That's 365
It really can.
New
different
things.
things. Yeah.
That would literally change.
Oh,
man.
Okay, what? Are we gonna
Man.
set a challenge?
Right.
One new thing a day
Yes.
for 365 days, and then see who you are
At the end.
at the end because you're not who you think you are.
You can literally be anybody if that's the case. I feel like that's freeing.
Like, your soul might have did something in a different reality or different that if you do it now, you might just suddenly love it and pick it up.
Period.
You
They're
might be like,
about to cut us off. So I fuck
Dang.
with y'all. Y'all have a good day. Oh my god. I love it. That was a great meeting. Thank you to. I hope this is still recording.
I know, right?
Thank you for joining. Thanks for watching Book Club. Next chapter. 3 and 4. Yeah, I'll post it
How long?
in the
are
group
they?
chat.
We should do 3 chapters.
Bye, Zenfriend.